Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We are from Group 2. In this occasion, we'll present to you our results of education regarding the assessment in a teaching module. We consist of 3, me myself Hafiz Shukra, Siti Khairunisa, and Wifa Dwiranti. First, type of assessment. There are 2 types of assessment. First is formative assessment, in which it consists of assessment as learning. It is function as a reflection for the learning process to confirm students' achievement of learning objectives. The students are actively involved in this part of assessment by becoming the grader for themselves or their friends. It included quizzes, peer assessment, self-assessment, discussion, and observations. Next is assessment for learning. It is used to be as a feedback for student performance during their learning process to identify their strengths and area for improvements. It allows students to know their progress and how to improve their skills. It included written or oral feedback. And the second type of summative assessment, or it is called assessment of learning, conducted at the end of the learning process, typically at the end of one chapter, course, or one academic year, to assess overall student achievement of the learning objective. This assessment can be the form of essays, examinations, and final projects that show what students have learned. In the teacher's module, she has prepared formative assessment to assess students' understanding of the material during the learning process. We come to students' needs. Based on the teacher's teaching module, some assessments are already suitable with the learning objectives. However, some of the assessment did not meet the students' need because the assessment does not measure students' understanding about the first learning objective, which is identifying the purpose of discussion text. And the next part of this discussion will be delivered by my friend Siti Khairunisa.
Alright, so thank you for the opportunity. I would like to explain about the format of assessment, then connection of materials. So the first one is format of assessment. The first thing is suitability with the learning objectives. There are different designs of assessment prepared by the teacher. Some assessments can assess students' understanding of discussion text, such as the main idea, expressing information, and implied information. However, there is no question of the assessment that contains the purpose of discussion text. Thus, a question about that learning objective is needed. And then the second one is the suitability with the element. The element of the learning is listening. Some assessments are suitable for listening tests such as deciding a picture, taking notes, and true or false. However, for short-answered questions, it would be better to be replaced with multiple-choice questions that contain questions of the purpose, the main idea, specific information, and implied information of the audio that has been listened. And then the last one is about scoring rubric. In the learning process, the teacher not only assesses students' performance but also their attitude. For the attitudes, there are already some criteria of scoring. However, for the performance, there is no criteria set to grade students' understanding. Now we move to the connection of material. Overall, in designing the assessment, the teacher already implemented the principle of UBD. The assessments measure students' understanding of the learning objectives, which is valid. They are in line with the curriculum. The assessment is not only to assess cognitive skill but also students' attitudes. However, for the first learning objective, there is no assessment to assess it. The teacher provides a variation of assessments. The assessments are also authentic. It uses content that is related to students' life, which is about variety of needs and language that reflects real life. The teacher also designs the scoring rubric but also for students' attitudes. Thus, it would be better if the scoring rubric for the test is also provided. Thank you.
Let's come to the next question. How about the test design? What kind of test that the teacher gave to the students, and is it linked to what we've learned? Alright, to help students achieve the learning objectives, the teacher already gave several kinds of assessments such as true or false, matching synonyms, short answer question, and desired picture. Actually, it's already linked to what we've learned, such as how to make a good assessment and applying the principle of UBD, and the teacher already used it and applied it in her module. However, the test design are not enough to assess all the learning objectives because there are 4 learning objectives, but 1 learning objectives didn't assess by the assessment. And our suggestion is the teacher may consider the test design that fits the learning objectives and the element used, because the element is listening element. It will be better to use multiple choice or fill in the blank test to assess student understanding. Let's come to the last one, reflection. Based on the teacher module, we found that the material are already suitable for its level, which is the grade 11 of senior high school, and it also already based on learning outcomes by the Ministry of Education. However, there are several adjustments needed to be done on certain assessment within the module. For example, short answered questions are not as valid as they could be, because the student might find it hard to finish it. It might be replaced with multiple choice question or with fill in the blank questions. Both are likely to be more reliable and consistent compared to the short answer question. That's all for